What's up? What's good? Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Sunday? I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. My family's doing great. Hope each and every one of you are doing great. And I hope you're having a great weekend. Like, it's cold out now. We know that. So your weekends are going to change. Instead of going to the beach or instead of going out and riding a bike or something, you're going to do something in the cold weather. And that's okay. That's what we do as Canadians. If you could please hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that bell notification button to get all my videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of most of my videos. So what's up, what's up, what's up? I hope you're having a great week. It's been crazy for me, man. A lot of unexpected costs, dentist, new battery in my car, a bunch of things that just kind of bang, 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 snowballed. Kind of smoked me a little bit, but it is what it is. That's why we work. That's why we do what we do. And that's why we keep trucking, right? You have to be prepared for these things. That's all part of growing. And these are lessons that I'm learning, Mr. Night Owl, I appreciate that. James S., what's up? And if you're in the building, go up, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps with the algorithm. Puts it in front of more people. And it's a free way that you can help the channel. So what are you guys saying? What's up with you guys? What do you guys want to talk about? What's the topic of conversation? I have a new video coming up in the next day or two on a specific story. It's going to be a great video. Guarantee that. So that's coming. Your past video made me cry. So raw and real, you're awesome. Thank you, Illegally Blonde. I appreciate that. Literally just got off the phone with my best friend. He's being released December 1st. Yeah. Shout out to that guy. Free up. The thing about it is, everybody, once you're done your punishment, that's it. It's a wrap. There should be no more after that. You should get an opportunity to turn your shit around. That's the hard part about stigma. A lot of people, they assume once you've been there once, it's a wrap for you. You can't be trusted. And that's one of the issues with stigma. Stephen Stuckley, what's up, my G? Shout out to Jana Finch, man. I appreciate that. Shout out. I met a lot of people in my times and my travels from Finch, and no, they don't all get along, but at the end of the day, I got along with all of them, and I just wish everybody the best. What's up, bro? I'm good. Canada lost, but made history scoring a goal in their World Cup game. Shout out to Canada, man. We got there, right? They're young, right? They're still learning. We'll see what happens. It's not exactly Canada's first game. So the thing is, people seem to be taking the program a lot more serious. You have a couple stars like Alfonso, and maybe it'll get great. Sandra, hey, Matt, going to visit my brother tomorrow in Beaver Creek. Sending love from Bob Cajun. Shout out to Bob Cajun, man. I've been there before. I beat my charges against myself. Shout out to you. Beating them is a great feeling, At the end of the day, very rarely, at least in my case, was I ever in and wasn't guilty, But there was one time that I wasn't, and I fought it and I beat it, and it was a great feeling, I just wish that I would have done that prior and maybe fought a couple when I was growing up instead of just accepting all the convictions, The real Hex. If somebody gets framed for domestics, can they go to GP? Yeah, domestic is not a charge that you have to check in for. Unless it's like wild, like a wild one, you're probably going to be all right. You're going to hear about it. That's a fact, but it's super common nowadays, man. Like super common. I remember the last time I was in court and there'd be, 40 or 50 dudes there, and half of them are domestics. So it's not a rare thing, That's what I'm saying, Illegally Blonde. Hit that like button. I don't get it. You're watching. But let's get some questions, man. Let's get some topic of conversation. Let's have a good live. Let's talk about something. So what do you guys want to talk about? I want to say rest in peace to all the people that lost their lives in these crazy shootings, man. These mass shootings. It's crazy. I know Death specifically had one close to his house at a Walmart by his house and where he's from. And you know, you can watch about it. A guy comes in, starts blasting people he worked with, and I watched this heartbreaking video of this woman who was in there, and I guess he never had a beef with her because she had just started, so he actually let her live. And the story is crazy, man. Her version of the story is crazy. Her talking about how the drips of blood, the sound was so eerie, and she can't get the sound because everything else was silent. You know, just drip, 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 and the eeriness of that. So, you know, I don't understand why, you know, this kind of things happen everywhere, but it's crazy how often it happens in the US, man. You know, there's no way that you can say that the amount of guns doesn't impact these shootings, you know. The only issue with the US is there's now so many guns in the population that you can't take them away, and you have to be able to give people the opportunity to protect themselves because you know there's so many of them out there. So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. I believe in the Second Amendment, though. I just think that some of the people that you know, I've watched a couple of videos even on YouTube where they break down the history of a lot of these dudes, and there's clear indications of problems, you know, like serious indications. So it's crazy to me that these guys are able to go through those processes and nobody notices. But it is what it is. I guess that's one of the things that's one of the give or takes for the Second Amendment, you know. But I wouldn't give up my right to bear arms if I had an option. So it's just something I guess you're going to live with in a country with so many people. And just, you know, don't tell me that social media and the media and the division and all that stuff doesn't play a huge role. Melissa Cressman, been watching your videos for a long way. You came a long way. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm trying, you know what I mean? I'm actually trying to be a better person, not just not getting in trouble, just to be an all-around good person. That's something that I'm actually trying to do, you know? So it's a road, you know, it takes time to learn how to do all this stuff. Do you think addiction is at its all-time high? I don't know. I'd say that we're going through one of the all-time highs, because if you go back to the 90s, man, maybe not in Canada so much, it's probably the worst of all time here, but you go back to the 90s and the crack epidemic and stuff, it was bad. And then you had the opioid epidemic, like the pills, and now you're having the Fetty. The difference is Fetty kills so many people, you know, it takes so many lives. Fanny on my face. I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. I hope y'all are doing great. Shout out to you. Nick Matcham. Hey there, Matt. Just got in the door and saw the notification for the live. Always a pleasure to catch it. Have you ever heard a figure as to how many guns exist in the U.S.? Well, you would have to assume that there's at least as many as there is people, because there's so many people that have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, if I was in a state where I could legally bear arms, I would. That's a fact. It ensures your safety almost. Not 100%, because you can always be caught slipping, but in our country, you know, you have to even be careful how hard you defend yourself. So it's crazy. Yeah, I would say there's got to be at least one for every person. So you'd have to say 350 plus million. Believe me, the only reason the US doesn't get invaded isn't just because of their military, it's also because of their population. Super patriotic and armed to the hilts. So, good luck. That's the one thing you got to say about the US. You want to invade that place, good luck. I get sentenced on Tuesday. I beat the attempt, but I took a 3-year for the aggravated. Kara10, man, shout out to you, bro. Sometimes you have to accept consequences, and you have to do what you got to do. It is what it is. I've been in that boat many times myself, so I know the feeling. But it gets to a point where you just kind of want to get it over with, The South could fight a small war themselves. That's a fact. I'd be more worried facing the population. It's also a fact. How do foreigners get treated in prison? I'd say as long as they don't have like a bad jacket, they're probably fine. You don't see a ton of them, but there are exchange programs and stuff, so you do see guys, and most of the time they're good. If it depends on the guy, though, right? If he's a foreigner but he's a weirdo, then he's gonna have issues. I don't think it really plays that much of a role. I did 5 in early 2000s. Yeah, that's a chunk, man. Your channel, help me, don't end this channel. Well, I'll try not to, my brother. That's a long time, but what was that, 2? Maybe 1, maybe 1.5. Kara10, keep your head up. Try getting to the brook. Better time. I would say for sure. You cook your own food. That's it right there. That's all you really need to know, right? Cook your own food. You ain't eating bag shit. This is the thing, maybe 7-8 years ago, they changed things and they really cut back budget for food. And now it's horrible. Live, cool. Got a question. Been watching you a while. Okay, Mark, what's up? So I would assume that Melissa is this Melissa Cressman, or is this somebody else on that name? Am I talking to a lady? What's the question there, Mark? But KR10, man, you do your thing, brother. Just be yourself. Remember how good the food was federally in the early 2000s? I remember cooking full turkey at Christmas in the kitchen at the Villa. Yeah, it was a lot different then. Yeah, a lot different. They just you were able to have food drives and all different kinds of things. They don't do none of that anymore. A friend of mine got clean with her 5 years. Her son 20 busted in an arm robbery. Fake gun coming. A friend of mine got clean with her 5 years. Her son 20. My brother said the food will make you bloat like a son of a bitch. That's why everybody has that jail build. The big shoulders, big arms, big gut. Okay. Held up in Monteith, Stan. Think he looking at pen time for a robbery with a fake gun? Oh, for sure, 100%. Then doesn't mean you're gonna get it, but they'll definitely be asking for it in the ring. I don't know, what kind of history, but they'll definitely gonna start there. They're gonna start at least at 2, I would assume. Maybe more, man. Maybe 3. If he's got an extensive past, then it could be even worse than that. Somebody get hurt? Was somebody traumatized? Is there somebody snitching and saying that they're traumatized, you know? Okay. Yeah, I'd say probably 2 to 3 is what they're gonna ask for. Worst meal that's stuck in mind. There's a lot of bad ones, man. But I'd say some of the cold lunches with this fake salami meat that has like big chunks of cartilage. Ugh. Uh, Salmon surprise, where it's just like liquefied salmon on top of rice. The powdered milk. Ugh. They fill it with a hose, man. They fill the bags with a hose. Not the hawk in the sock. Mark, yeah, go visit, man. He's gonna need some support, you know. You get in that place in your head though eventually where you just accept what's coming. Like you understand your position. You know, you go through the turmoil at the beginning, but eventually you're gonna be all right with your position because you have no choice, right? Once you're there, you're there. That's a wrap. Yeah, you could take cash. You could give it to them, money order or whatever. Just get a money order. That'd be the best thing to do. The bologna sandwich and the cold. I like the cold bean salad myself. I used to eat every cup that I could get on the block because we were working out. So we wanted all that beans and all that goodness. Yeah, the Hearst fish is the salmon surprise. That's what that is. And it's literally like almost liquefied. There's nothing to it. It's like a sauce with salmon in it. Yeah, but I think the visit is provincial, my friend. Were you getting steamed packs of food in your last bit, Matt, or was it no steamed in provincial steamed? In the pen, now it's all like stews and like pre-made bags of stuff. Ugh, it's all slop. It's still better than like Lindsay or something though. That's a fact, but it's gross altogether. Oh, I used to love the cold bean salad, brother. I would literally have like cups stacked up. I would even eat the carrot and raisin salad. How about that? Sorry, I gotta check something here. Yeah. But I was a sap. Like there was really nothing I wouldn't eat, man. Like I was the dude on the block that would trade for a salmon surprise. You know, that was me because I just wanted food. I didn't want to eat junk. I didn't want to eat chips and chocolate. Like I wanted food. You know, the Sunday breakfast, man, I'd have stacks. I'd eat it all in one day too. My boy telling me bag slop. Yeah, it's all bag slop. What a good amount of cash for a guy to have in his account. Like $5. I'd say that's a nice chunk. Because you have to pay for your phone card too. You know, collect is so expensive, but you have a card when you're in federal, so you can put money on it, and it's like $6 an hour as opposed to 60. Newborn Assassin, what's up, my brother? I am posting. I've been posting. I did a video like 5 or 6 days ago. I did some shorts, and I got a video coming up in a day or two. I've been super busy, so I've probably only been doing like one video a week for like the last while, you know. But we'll get back up there. What's the worst DJ you've been in? What do you mean DJ? Like district? Like provincial? Is that what you mean? The Fox joke's funny. Come on. Yeah, I'd say the Don. It's definitely the most violent. I had a guy slapped out on my block, so you see a lot of different things there. But for me, it was a lot different. It became my comfort being locked. It's crazy enough. It did. So for me, it didn't really matter where I was. I was pretty good. Once you're sentenced to federal, how long do you stay in provincial before they move you? So you have to sign a waiver. Once you sign your waiver, it's like 15 days you're supposed to be gone. It can extend a little bit longer sometimes, but usually within 15 days. I was held up at Don. Yeah, you know how the Don is. Happy Sunday, big fella. God bless you and your family. I appreciate that, head bussa. Oh, man, I've just been exhausted. But this is the first weekend I've actually been able to chill both days. No work, just relax. And it's nice. 2C North, I was on 2A backside. Pepe Chris, what's up? Nice to see you too, although I don't see you. I'm on here maybe like another 10 minutes, guys. So if you have questions, maybe not even 10 minutes, like 8 minutes. I got to go pick up my queen, man. She's working, so. Christmas inside, man. It's never a good feeling, You're away from your fam and you know that they're suffering because you're not there and you're suffering. For me, it was always difficult. I always had to make that call, But I never really wanted to make it. I'd always be hesitant because I don't want to sour the mood for everybody else, right? And have to do that conversation where you're like, yeah, I'm good, everything's great, but you're really screaming inside, What's the hardest thing about adjusting to life back on the outside once released? Temper, man. Keeping my temper, I would say. Where'd you go with that question, man? Hot sauce, the leaf question. Yeah, I would say my temper. That's the thing that I have the hardest time with, I'm impatient and temperamental, and it affects me on my day-to-day, The only thing I ever get in trouble for at work is my mouth. The only thing I ever get in trouble for in my life is my mouth. What's it like withdrawing in jail? I used to see man sick as hell in the bunks all day, look hurting. It's crazy. You know why? Because the lights are on all night. It's crazy, man. I remember when I came in, I was 14 days cold turkey, and I was rough, okay? And I remember I would be trying to sleep. The fluorescent lights are like in your eyes. They're dulled, right? But they're still not good, right? And I'd just fall asleep and boom, the lights would come on. Boom, it'd be breakfast. And I just would drag myself around all day feeling so tired. Like I could go in and lay down and go to sleep. And then as soon as I lay down, no sleep, You watching soccer, the World Cup, Canada got eliminated. Yeah, honestly, I watched a couple games, but I watched a bit of the Poland-Saudi Arabia game. I probably watched half of that game. I watched some of the Saudi Arabia-Argentina game. It's just the games that I'm catching, Not a super soccer guy. I'm more of a hockey basketball guy, but How much a TV? It depends, you know. But if you get it through them, it's like your fan, your TV, and your, you know, everything that you get is something. It's like $250, I think, $300, something like that. I think so. But hot sauce, what was the question about the Leafs, man? Keep redacting your question. Printed too early. Top 3 greatest Maple Leafs of our era. Well, you have to go with Doug Gilmour. You have to go with Mats Sundin. And then you have to go with Matthews. Marner is a better player than Sundin. But I think Sundin, there was more, he had more importance to the city of Toronto when he was the captain. But I would definitely say that Marner and Matthews might be the best 2 Leafs. Matthews is a generational player, you know what I mean? Yeah, Potvin had a couple good years. We had Eddie Belfour, Curtis Joseph. Yeah, but Dougie, Wendell, or Sundin couldn't hold a candle to Matthews in hockey, though. You know, that was a much different era. Back then, goaltenders had like 880 save percentages. It's a different time. These new goalies are like 6'5". Their equipment makes them like Optimus Prime. It's real hard to score now, you know, just a different time. So I would say there's definitely eras, but the one thing that Sundin did was he won. He never won a cup, but like they would win series, you know. He had that. Yeah, Austin Matthews has skills beyond skills. That's a fact, you know. But I'm on here for like 2 more minutes, guys. So if you have like any last questions, I know it's not a super long live, but I just wanted to pop in and say what's up, man. Well, I'll definitely be putting a video up either tomorrow or the day after. Man, crazy story, man. Crazy story and just disgusting. Growing up in Toronto, I used to hear Matt Sundin's name so much. He's a popular player. Yeah, for sure. He's the captain. What's for dinner? Actually, I am making some like slow cooked chicken legs, except I don't put them in the slow cooker. I put them in the oven in the slow cooker pot, and I cook at like 300 for 4 hours maybe. And it's got some like 5-spice, soy sauce, honey, hoisin sauce, some ketchup. It's got garlic, chili flakes, and you cook it for like 3-4. I am going to get an air fryer. That is what I want for Christmas. If you could tell us about what? the chicken? Oh, do you have any fights? Did I lose any? No. I'd say that I never got in a crazy amount of fights. My last stretch, I got in like a bunch of fights. And no, I didn't lose any. But I would say I lost 1 fight when I was in Tyack. It was more like a draw, but I guess you could give him the edge because he sucker punched me, and that's Beamer. I never got in a ton of fights, John. Honestly, man, I did 7 in the Ville and never got in 1 fight. When you are a respected guy, it's not like that. You know, you're not just in there fighting all the time unless you're one of those dudes that wants to fight all the time. And there are those guys. But you know, a lot of the time when you're smacking guys inside, they ain't fighting back, man. They ain't, especially in provincial. So, but I definitely say I lost that fight in Tyack. And I can lose fights, man. There's lots of guys that are tougher than me. I'm not trying to claim to be Superman or something, you know. There's a lot of real tough guys down below, right? That could very easily smash me. But it's a different kind of time. You know, people aren't just running around trying to cause beef with people. Now, it does happen Specifically in the Max, there's a lot more beef. But when beef happens, people get hurt. People lose their lives. People get poked up. So it's a different kind of attitude. And in provincial, you're fighting all the time, but like you're not typically like losing, because if you're on a block, like most likely if you start getting punched out, your homie's gonna, it's not gonna really happen that way. You know how it is. 50-0. No, I'm not like that. I lost fights in my life, just not on the inside. I got the crap kicked out of me a couple times on the outside. I ain't tough, bro. I don't claim to be. I can defend myself. But I don't claim to be no Superman. That's a fact. If you're new in jail, would you get demanded for your food? Would you get punked? It depends on who you are, man. I gotta go, though. I love y'all. I gotta go pick up my woman or she's gonna trip. I'm trying to decipher what it says in one of your intro tunes. I'm wondering if you know. Sounds like don't forget your money, man. I think it is don't forget your money, man. I remember the story you told the party you got jumped. Real one. You know what I mean? I got jumped a few times. A few times. Maybe I'll jump on here tomorrow, maybe. Or and just do another one of these despite the fact that I'm doing the video. Because, you know, did I get punked? I got punked one time when I was in Tayak. Yes, I did. For a fish stick. Like my very first time. And I didn't even take it like that. I didn't think like that because I wasn't hungry. And the guy's like, yo, I want your fish. I was just like, yo, take it. But then after, people were like, yo, bro, that's a punk off. Like, you can't do that. So after, I learned that I had to defend myself. And of course, I went through some shit, man. That's life. You have to learn how to defend yourself. You really believe that I could have done 17 and not ever defended myself? It doesn't work that way. You know, you have to, and you will learn. Love each and every one of you. The new Matt Clark. I got some cooking skills there, Carlos. You know what, James? I'm going to jump on there, man. I just don't like social media, but I'm going to jump on there because I want to see your message. Love y'all. Give me a week. All right? You already know, man. Love y'all. The new Matt Clark. Go watch some videos.